Welcome, language sleuths, to today's explainer. Go ahead and grab your trench coat because today we're heading straight into the gritty, sometimes intimidating streets of German grammar. Now, if you're a new learner, you've probably heard the rumors. People whisper about German adjective declensions like there's some unpredictable monster hiding in the dark, just waiting to ruin your perfectly crafted sentences. But I'm here to tell you, no way. It's not a monster. Well, okay, maybe a small, misunderstood goblin, but mostly, it's just a case file. It's a completely predictable mystery with known suspects, clear motives, and evidence that always points to the exact right answer. We're going to take this nice and slow, and by the time we're done, you'll be cracking these grammar cases with total ease.
So to solve this mystery, we're going to open up our case dossier and methodically move through 6 exact stages. First, the detective's golden rule. Second, the 3-question interrogation. Then we'll examine our suspects. Profile 1 is the weak declension, Profile 2 is the mixed declension, and Profile 3 is the strong declension. Finally, we'll wrap up with the top crime scene clues.
Stage 1, the detective's golden rule.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Every good detective needs a foundational principle, right? A North Star that guides the entire investigation before we even look at a single suspect. And in the world of German adjectives, this rule is absolutely everything. Here is the whole mystery wrapped into one concept. An adjective ending absolutely must reveal the gender and the case of the noun. It's a hard requirement. But here's the secret. Adjectives are naturally incredibly lazy. If the article in front of the adjective already reveals the gender and case, the adjective sits back, relaxes, and just takes a lazy ending, which is always either an E or an EN. However, if the article hides the clues, or if the article is completely missing from the scene, well, the adjective has to wake up and do all the heavy lifting itself by taking a strong ending. Remember this lazy adjective? It is literally the key to the entire system.
Stage 2, the 3-question interrogation.
Now that we know the motive, we need a methodology. In this line of work, we never just guess an ending. Guessing gets you in trouble. Instead, we interrogate the suspect with a strict 3-part procedure. Before you write a single letter, you need to run this interrogation on every adjective, in this exact order. Step 1. What's the case? Is it nominative, accusative, dative, or genitive? Step 2. What's the gender or number of the noun? Masculine, feminine, neuter, or plural? And step 3. What kind of article is standing right in front of the adjective? Is it a der word, an ein word, or is there absolutely nothing there? Once you lock in those 3 clues, the ending is guaranteed. There's zero guesswork left.
So you might be wondering, how exactly do we use this 3-step interrogation out in the field when we're face-to-face with our suspects? Let's bring in our 3 profiles and see exactly how they react under pressure, keeping our pace nice and steady.
Stage 3. Profile 1. The weak declension.
Our first suspect profile is what we call the weak declension. And honestly, this is the easiest interrogation you'll ever do, because the suspect is fully cooperating with the investigation. In the weak declension, the article has already confessed. This happens right after der words. Think words like der, die, das, dieser, and jene. Because that der word is out there screaming the gender and the case loud and clear for everyone to hear, the adjective behind it gets to be completely lazy. It doesn't have to show any strong signals at all. It just takes a weak ending, which is only ever going to be an E or an EN.
Now, what's really interesting about the evidence we've gathered here is this visual shortcut. You absolutely do not need to memorize 20 different rules. Check out that top left corner. It's like a tiny little island of just 5 E endings. That's the nominative case for all 3 genders, plus the accusative case for feminine and neuter. And what about literally every other spot across the board? It's just in. 5 E's and a massive sea of ins.
Let's methodically interrogate this evidence nice and slow. Take the first phrase, der alte Mann. Case, nominative. Gender, masculine. There is right there, it already confessed. So the adjective alt is lazy and just takes that E. Second piece of evidence, den alten Mann. Now we're in the accusative. We've officially left our little E island, so we take N. Same exact thing for the dative, mit dem alten Mann. It's N. And for plurals like die kleinen Kinder, the ending is always N.
Stage 4, Profile 2, the mixed declension.
Let's move to our second profile, and a quick warning, things are about to get a bit trickier, because this article is deceptive. In the mixed declension, the article is half lying. This happens after ein words, like ein, mein, and kein. Most of the time, these words act just like der words, pointing out the case and letting the adjective be lazy. But here's the catch. In 3 very specific spots, the ein word drops its ending entirely. It goes completely mute, just like an uncooperative witness.
And when the article goes mute, our lazy adjective is rudely forced to wake up and do the heavy lifting itself.
At first glance, the data for this suspect looks basically identical to the weak setup we just saw. You still have that giant sea of N's, but look really closely at the 3 distinct spots that stand out. These are the only places where the ending isn't a lazy E, but a strong or E's.
As a new detective, you want to burn these 3 trap spots into your memory right now. Trap 1, nominative masculine. Trap 2, nominative neuter. And trap 3, accusative neuter. In these 3 exact locations, the word ein gives you absolutely 0 clues. Think about ein Mann. Is that a der or a das? We have no idea just by looking at the word ein.
And this brilliantly illustrates the trap in action. Let's compare them side by side, nice and slow. In the weak profile, we say der alte Mann. The word der signals perfectly that it's masculine, so the adjective is lazy and just takes an E. But look at the mixed trap, ein alter Mann. The word ein is totally mute. It has no ending, so the adjective alt groans, wakes up, and tacks on an AR to loudly signal to the world that this noun is masculine. The adjective took the hit simply because the article refused to do its job.
Stage 5, Profile 3, the strong declension.
Now for our most rugged suspect profile, the Wild West, the strong declension. We affectionately call this profile no article, no backup. This occurs when there is absolutely no article in front of the adjective, or when you have words that act like no article, such as numbers, viele, or einige. Because there is literally no article there to mark the case or the gender, the adjective has to step up. It must do all the work completely alone by taking the exact endings that a der word normally would.
Now, you might be panicking thinking you have to memorize a whole new complicated chart, but here's a veteran detective's trick. You don't. This strong declension pattern is almost identical to the standard der, die, das endings. You just mentally chop off the letter D. Der becomes das becomes s, dem becomes m. It's that simple. Well, okay, there is one weird exception. The genitive case for masculine and neuter. Instead of s, they take an n. Why? Because the noun itself already takes an s at the end, and German grammar absolutely hates repeating s sounds unnecessarily.
Let's slowly interrogate these final case files so you can really see the adjective carrying the entire burden. First up, kalter Kaffee schmeckt schlecht. There's 0 article before Kaffee. It's masculine nominative, so the adjective kalt steps up with an er to scream masculine. Second file, ich trinke heißen Kaffee. Accusative masculine, so it takes an. Third file, mit kaltem Wasser. Dative neuter, so it takes the strong M. And finally, that trippy exception we mentioned, trotz schlechten Wetters. Genitive neuter, taking the ein ending because Wetters already brought the s to the party.
Stage 6, top crime scene clues.
We've reviewed all our suspect profiles. Now we transition into the wrap-up phase. Before I send you out onto the grinny grammar streets, you'll want to keep these 5 veteran clues in your back pocket to avoid those rookie traps. Number 1, the word mit always forces the dative case, so you're almost always looking at an in, an im, or an er. Number 2, any plural adjective after a der or ein word is always in, no exceptions. Number 3, always beware of those 3 mixed trap spots we talked about where ein has no ending. Number 4, words like viele or einige trigger a strong plural, but words like alle or beide trigger a weak plural. And number 5, if you have multiple adjectives stacked in a row, they're all in this together, they all get the exact same ending.
So what does this all mean? The crucial point is this twist ending right here. After all that profiling, you don't actually need to memorize 3 separate tables. You just need to deeply understand this single, incredibly elegant law of the grammar universe, signal theory. Every single noun phrase needs exactly 1 strong signal showing case and gender. Period. If the article gives that signal, the lazy adjective goes weak. But if the article doesn't give the signal, the adjective steps up and goes strong. 1 strong signal per phrase, that is the whole game.
And that brings our investigation to a close. As you step out of the precinct today and button up your own trench coat, I want you to start interrogating every piece of German text you read. Next time you look at a sentence, ask yourself, where is the single strong signal? Is it right there in the article, or was the adjective forced to step up? Keep asking that question, and the mystery of German adjectives will literally never stump you again. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy sleuthing.